sausage, okay? So let's get him taken care of, okay? It's going to be the bacon one, okay? This one?
You know what? I think I will. Yeah, it's under the name of Rachel. These are cool. Thank you. Y'all have a God bless day. Yes, God bless. Well, we got it. Took some time. The order was already ready when I walked up there, and then a trainer came up. Spent about 10 minutes talking to the person about other orders. So, anyway, I was able to get it though. So, I just kept saying, it's for Rachel. It's for Rachel. And then finally I said, the order's under the name of Rachel. And I'm like, oh, under the name of Rachel, right? That's the order. Then she said something about GBH and DD. Then finally I just said, it's that order right over there. So I had to tell them probably about 10 times that the order was under the name of Rachel. Weather's changed lately, so PSI changes. But regardless, it was still under the name of Rachel. Oh, the whole family's coming by. You're gonna get it. Get it at Old South. The third one right there. My sonar will go off in a minute. They're open 24 hours. Ooh, they're all the way from North Carolina. I actually paid them about $100 to be in that shot. Old South, right there. Make sure the extras get paid and fed. One of my actresses' friend worked there. Macaroni Grill. She runs a theater now. But she used to pretty much be the head waiter at this Macaroni Grill. Now she runs her own theater. Are officially spinning. So you have to watch that in-app GPS. It'll spin you around. They're all the way from California. All right, that's the Trinity. All you TCU folk, very familiar with the Trinity River. Just lay down in it and get baptized. What you want to do is get completely submerged. No sprinkling. All the way under the water. And the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost. This is the zoo right here. The Fort Worth Zoo right here, as you can see. There's usually an iguana at the top of it right there. One of my ex-girlfriends from high school used to live off this road right here. Her father was a physics teacher. And her mother was a painter. And they were TCU teachers. Well, the father was a professor at TCU in the physics department. He helped me with some algebra one time. I asked him an algebra question about algebra. He seemed to know the answer. It's a good sign. It's a good sign that he knows the answer to that. He's a professor at TCU for the physics. He actually was the lead. He was a lead professor of the head of the department of the physics. But he also was, he lived off this road right here. He also wrote letters to the president at the time for funding and stuff like that. I saw some of the letters. She didn't know that I was looking at one of the letters that he wrote, but he had requested some funding for the TCU department. It was off this road right here. I lived there for a little while later on, and that's where I left to go to Chicago from that, right off University West. And I left that Spanish-style apartment complex, or to me it's Spanish, but I don't know. It used to have different tiling at the top. It used to have Spanish tiling at the top. They changed it since I've talked about it in the vlog. But I left from University West, this apartment complex, all the way to Chicago. And I lasted 2 days. Then I headed back to this apartment complex again. My friend Foster was still alive. He died in the Marines during the Afghan War, or the Sunni Triangle. And I was writing a short story, or a story called The Wolf on the Ring, or The Wolf and the Ring. I kind of changed the title a couple of times. It was about this hefty set lady that kidnaps a girl. Later on, that story turned into a thing called Gone Fishing, also known Well, I know it's called Gone Fishing. Anyway, my friend right there worked at a coffee shop right there. He was also a photographer and a playwright. I'm trying to think of the Gone Fishing one. It's about Paul and his dog named Clover. I know for sure it's called Gone Fishing, but it had another title. It had 2 titles. I do that sometimes. I'll have 2 titles to a story. I'll figure it out later. Fishing had a character named Paul in it, and there was a dog in it named Clover, named it after Clover Honey. And the dog was kind of like a golden retriever style dog. And he goes to Bar Harbor. Well, he actually leaves his work and goes to Bar Harbor. He's a mill worker, you know, like woodworker. And he leaves. He meets his professor named Dr. Moon, who tells him about a flower that can heal all pain. And the flower in it is called the Mohan flower. Get the title that way too. And Mohan is actually written inside his wood mill on the wall. If you ever go to Guilford, Maine, go inside a place called Hardwood Products. In the story, it's called Havenwood. And on the wall, there rest, above all the choppers, is the word Mohan. M-A-H-O-N. That's where I got the title from, inside of a wood factory that I worked for 17 months. Well, 15. It was all 15 or 16 months. Ooh! Drunk TCU student. And they got mad. Whew! They want to get in there and see their girlfriend. Boom! Just knocked that in there. Where's Matthew McConaughey? I got a play I'm about to release. All right. Got a little thrown off course there. Had to find some better connection. So I drove over here, and boy, did it happen. Look at this guy. He's parked all funny. Late night at the bar. And he's got a Kia. Woo! TCU students. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn over this way since we got back to connection. They're probably sitting at their little computers going, this little playwright. Man, I got it right now. Let's get a hold of Mark Zuckerberg. Now look at this thing right here. That is a cute cat right there. That right there is a very cute cat. I once knew a cat that was called Rusty that looked exactly like that. There was also a filmmaker I knew named Rusty too. He was from NYU. He did a film called Only in America. It was released at the USA Film Festival, probably like 1993-ish, by the time River Phoenix died. It's kind of pro-marijuana play. Well, pro-marijuana movie, I guess you could call it that. It was a marijuana activist back in the early 90s. About the police and all this other stuff. Things have changed, though. I don't know where that movie is. I don't know if it's still on 35mm. I'd do anything to see it, though. It'd be great. Put it on VHS or DVD. Get that movie out there again. Swing that puppy out there. Be a cult classic. It was released at USA Film Festival. I'm actually in it. I'm a student that's in it. Great little movie. Better than Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Let me see if I can get through here. Doesn't look like it. I'm going to have to call them. Their app. Oh, I remember what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go through here. Just like this. So what I did was, since I wasn't getting signals here, I went down the road and got a signal and got back online. I got everything turned off but cellular right now. There's a lot of data being thrown around this area, especially because it's TCU. I'm going to go ahead and pass this in a safe way. All right. Now we're going to look for building 9 and get this dropped off to your doorstep so you get your food, because we want to have your food with you or something like that. Let's see if we can see it here. Okay, we're gonna have to look at building numbers. Just give me a second. Get some products, just come out here and pick them up. There's a free stove right there. All right, we're looking for 2600. I know it's here though. These apartments can be really difficult at times. It can be very difficult. Like that mad TCU student still getting his way. It's actually on this side right here.
Turn left, then turn left.
That's where you have to go, right through here. That the gate code would be somewhat hard, but not impossible, because you can just walk right through there, can't you? Probably so. Still not that big. There are some people actually too fat. And this lady, she was in the Navy. She's actually too fat to fit through that right there. She's also a murderer too. And if she doesn't get out of Texas, they're probably gonna get her for murder. She better run, run, run. Run, 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 Nanny, run.
Turn left.
Run, baby, run.
Turn right.
You're considered a murderer, so watch out, lady. Well, 10 years ago, she wouldn't have been. Yeah, 10 years ago, she was fine. Now, she better run. Nah, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Gotta walk this one. Oh, come on. Don't worry. My people will see you in court. Let's see what we can do it, big fat Navy chick. Ooh, it goes right through here. Look at that something. Look at that. Still got it. Still got it. So you come down here in Fort Worth, see if you can fit through that, you fat Navy chick. The Navy probably threw up on her. Sure, if I was a Navy officer, I would have fired her right when she walked in the room. So you're fired, leave. Get off my submarine. This kind of Hispanic looking chick. I can't tell if she was Hispanic or not. I don't know if that matters. She told me that Building 9 was all the way down that way. That way. I don't know. So I had it right the first time. Well, picked up a ride, so we should be at Building 9 anytime really soon. Have you had a busy day? Yeah, she just pointed in one direction and said, oh, Building 9's way over there.
What?
Building 9 is what I'm looking for.
What's the address? 1810?
So you have like phase 1 and phase 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Prospect
Prospect
is phase 2.
is phase 2. Yeah, I saw an apartment here before. I remember, I think it was phase 2 that we went to.
What's the address?
I can show it to you again. Right here. How does it go like that? She's saying that there's 2 Building 9s on it right here. Is this Building 9?
Yes, this is Building 9 phase 2.
It's probably phase 1 because it's saying 20. I'll show you the address. All right, so this nice gentleman over here took me to the second part of the phase of the apartment complex. It's really not that big. It's just like a thing went off, so it looked like it found it. There we go. Sure, you can use your common sense to figure out what's going on. All right. This must be it right here. I do always check the bottom first to make sure this is correct. choke on it. Right. So it takes time. Whew. You have to get all the things in order. But luckily there was a guy around with all those golf cart things. And I said, do you know where this building is? He knew exactly where it was. I was like, thank goodness. Yeah, he took me right there. I think all apartments should have something like that. In this case, I was able to squeeze in through the gate, but there are two different phases. You have to climb the gate to go to the other phase. So, quite the queen, as the lady must be. Yeah, this would be hard to find, even if the law was looking for her. It'd be difficult because they'd have to go in one phase, then another phase. But there are some laws and regulations that women have to go by in this state. So we had a victory politically. That means if you get preggo and you decide, you know, I'm not gonna keep it, and you leave the state, you decide to abort as an abortion, they come after you. Because all they have to do is get a heartbeat on the baby. And you say you run off to Tennessee or New York or China, and you decide to get the abortion by the enemy. Then we haul you back, cuff you, and in prison you go. So watch out. So now when you used to go to Planned Parenthood, they'd go, hey, we think you should keep the baby. And they were like, well, no, we're gonna go ahead and abort. Back then, 10 years ago, they just went like this. A little slap on the wrist. Now, they put the cuffs on, and you know where you go. So, if you decide to get an abortion now, you'll become a prisoner. And you can sit in prison and rot for murder. Possibly life imprisonment is what we'll go for. So don't try to get away. If you got the heartbeat, you better stay. Right there, the bent gate. I squeezed right through that. Yeah, I'm pro-life. Big fan of Juno. They're opening the gate for me at the present moment. There's a Chevrolet or Pontiac or something, I can't tell. GT9. Thanks, appreciate it. Okay. Now, we're gonna open the trunk and get to that next one. Sometimes you gotta hustle. Not always though. Usually you just get right in. It's a smooth drop off. That one, gate wouldn't open, so. Or I didn't have the gate code really. Oh, I almost ruined the day right there. Sorry about that, I don't mean to be mean, I'm just a warning. Personally, when it comes to the abortion doctor, that's big time murder. But Texas only fines them, and they do get some jail time. Because they didn't know. Me didn't know baby should live or die. Me didn't know. Me didn't know. Me just doctor from Afghanistan, or wherever they're from. Now they're going to go for the death penalty. It'll move up. So if a doctor actively seeks an abortion with the patient, or say the doctor gives the abortion, that's a better way to say it, I guess. You want to use the right English. So if the doctor performs an abortion on a pregnant lady, there's a good chance that that doctor will get the death penalty. And we're going to move up to that stage of it. So we're going to make abortion very, very difficult in the state of Texas. Won't be a fine the doctor will get. It'll be the death penalty. Because murder is taken very seriously in the state of Texas. So no more abortions. It's over with. I'm gonna keep my baby. You know, like the Madonna song. I'm gonna keep my baby. Ooh. So keep the baby and deal with it. You'll get your degree later. Because abortion kills not just the baby. It kills the family. It kills parts of society. It murders just like regular murder does. It's the same thing. So if you can hear the heartbeat, you got to keep the baby. Can you hear it beating? Now, when you go on a date, it's no longer out of convenience. Back in the day, you could just you know, wear a condom or not. It didn't really matter. Pick them up with the flying fish, take them back there, boom, smack diddly-doo, mama, 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 and boom, they're pregnant. Oh, I made a mistake. I want to get my degree, Daddy. Daddy, I want my bachelor's degree, and then I want to get my master's, but I'm going to have to keep this freaking baby and get a job. Well, grow up. Stop having unprotected sex, the father says. But what am I going to do? You're going to have the baby, or you're going to go to prison. To be honest, when you hear the heartbeat, and you know the baby's there, that's a generation of people that's inside you. Thousands and thousands of people. Because that baby can lead to another baby, it can lead to another baby, and can lead to another baby. You never want to cut off a generation of people. So those killers, as in the killer in you, or the killer in me, as the killer in you, you understand what it really means, right? Cut that little child. He's probably talking about abortion, right? And disarm. So just go around and smile and get your way. You can disarm your enemy and just go right into the abortion clinic. The only problem is now they slap it down. Murder! Murder in the first degree! Murder! Murder, Your Honor! Murder! I say murder! Murder in the first degree! Premeditated murder of a baby, Your Honor! Premeditated murder! Put her away! Into prison you go!